All right, breaking news. Jerami Grant's going to get $32 million a year every year for the next 5 years. That's right. 5 years, $160. He goes back to the Blazers. You can see a lot of these early deals are re-signs because we're just a half hour into the free agency period, and they pretty much all knew I'm coming back. They'd sort of agreed on terms. Takes a little longer when you want to switch teams. So Jerami Grant going back to Portland, 5 years, $160. And you got to wonder what this means for this franchise as Damian Lillard and his, future is at least, maybe there's a little smoke fire thing going, or maybe he's going to stay in the Great Pacific Northwest. Let me get my guys in. Bill Reiter. That's right. Senior writer, CBSSports.com NBA. And then our world championship coach, Avery Johnson. It's an NBA Coach of the Year with Avery. He's a world championship player. I got to get his thoughts, but I'm going to start here with you, Bill. Translate this, and not only translate this signing, but add in, does this do anything for how you feel about Damian Lillard staying or going in Portland?
Yeah, so I think there's two parts to it, and that the Lillard part is certainly one of them. The first part is Portland is widely considered the most difficult NBA market in the country to recruit talent to. So if you have someone who's relatively talented, and Jerami Grant is that, I mean, the guy can score, the guy's a good player, you have to pay him, you have to overpay him, you have to keep them there because it's hard to bring them back or bring free agents. And yeah, I do think this connects to Damian Lillard. Now, I personally, like other people around the NBA, think it's time for Portland to do the hard breakup and move on from Lillard. They have a nice young core, but Lillard was insistent that they bring Grant back if he was going to stick around. So I do think this indicates even more that it's likely that Damian Lillard's not going to get moved. Who knows? It could change. We'll see what the market is. But you're right, EK. I do think that this, on top of being something Portland has to do because they're Portland, certainly suggests that Damian Lillard's going to be there this next season.
Coach, who is Jerami Grant? I mean, I know the name, you know that. But if you're describing him as a player, he's an interesting player. He's a 20-point per game guy. But then I don't really know what to say after that. Who is he?
On a really good team, EK, he's like a fourth best player on the team. If Jerami Grant is your second best player behind Damian Lillard, you're not a playoff team. And that's what's happening with the Portland Trailblazers. Talented kid, but still got a huge upside. He could potentially, knock on the door and make one or two all-star teams in the future, in one of those situations if a guy gets injured and then the commissioner has to assign a player in terms of the injury situation. But Jerami Grant is not an aircraft carrier. He's a fourth or fifth best player on a really good team. He's a guy that's skilled overall as a scorer, not a great defender. But this is an interesting move. And one that I agree with Bill, is this a signal where they're trying to appease Damian Lillard to try to get him to come back because Jerami Grant and Damian Lillard have a very, very close relationship.
And Bill, you sort of hit the nail on the head with Portland. Sometimes people wonder, can you recruit guys up there? I mean, it rains a lot. It's long flights. Not that it's not a wonderful state and city, but his tweet was, I've survived too many storms to be worried about raindrops as he resigns. Good for him.